Now, if you don't want to risk being jailed for up to 5 years, look away now. What began as a local environmental battle has now escalated into something a lot more serious. When the people of Radley Village took on the electricity giant npower because of its decision to destroy a local beauty spot, they little expected what would follow. It is a cautionary tale of how large corporations are now able to suspend some basic freedoms we all thought we enjoyed. Our chief correspondent Alex Thompson has this exclusive report.
Red kites quarter the ground over Radley Lakes in Oxfordshire. At water level, wildfowl are preparing to mate. But soon, the entire lake here, an old gravel pit, will be obliterated, filled in with 500,000 tonnes of ash from nearby Didcot power station, containing, amongst other pollutants, arsenic. Though the company doing it says the levels of arsenic are not dangerous. Chainsaws have been hard at work in preparation for filling in Radley Lake.
How can you sleep in your beds at night? You should be ashamed!
As a local journalist filmed them, passing villagers made their feelings plain.
Get off the island and go home!
It is, well, was a county nature reserve, and also it's been used by local people for 2 generations, and they're claiming it as commons land. There's a public inquiry next month to settle that, by which time, of course, npower will have trashed it completely.
Over at Didcot power station, npower say they'd rather recycle coal ash than destroy the lake. But the market's saturated, so dumping's the cheapest option.
We're talking about 16 gravel pits that have been produced over the last 50-odd years. If I was a boy walking there, it would have been meadowland, where we now have the gravel pit that we're looking to fill. And we're making new gravel pits there even as we speak. And it's our intention basically to carefully fill it, expertly cover it, and to make sure that it then gets returned to nature.
And there things may well have remained. But then npower did something extraordinary, something which turned a little local difficulty into a national issue. It's something which strikes right at the heart of things we claim to hold dear: the right to assemble, the right to protest peacefully, the right to have a free and open press and media. But be warned, if you carry on watching this report, you will be injuncted by law, and if you break that injunction, you could face up to 5 years in prison.
I've no interest in taking a picture of you guys, right?
Here's what they did. On a public road, masked security guards and lawyers serve an injunction on a photojournalist trying to document contractors destroying the lake. He films what happens next.
I hereby give you this by way of notice and refer you to the terms within it. I particularly refer you to paragraph 6, in which you're not allowed to take photographs of any protected persons, which includes ourselves and security people on this site.
He is now banned from filming npower contractors. In effect, covering the story of the destruction of the lake is now a criminal offence.
I'm actually a member of the press.
I hereby give you
my NUJ card.
granted yesterday by the High Court.
Does that count for anything these days? What is going on? This is a news story, and for me being stopped from carrying out a news photographs for a news story is basically putting me out of a job. But it's denying the public information of what's going on.
And now you know about the injunction, you're injuncted. So are we, so is the local newspaper.
It just seems that our job is being compromised, and we can't actually report what is going on our doorstep because some multinational company has decided that they're going to take a heavy hand against a bunch of people who live in the area who are concerned about what's going on there.
npower insists they never intended to interfere with the media. They claim their people were so harassed by the protesters that their identities had to be protected.
These are people that had stones thrown at them. Is that harassment? These are people whose number plates have been written down as they actually leave the site. These are people where somebody's gone along and put a camera in their face and said, "We know where you live and we know where your family live." Okay, now is that harassment? Well, I think it is, and perhaps much more importantly, a High Court judge thought so too.
I haven't said anything abusive. I've said, I hope you're proud of what you're doing.
As you can hear, the protests have been loud. Yet Thames Valley Police told Channel 4 News there have been no arrests for any violent offences in months of protest at the lake. Indeed, npower produced little evidence of violence when they went to court. 3 company spokesmen have told us they obtained their banning order purely on these anonymous witness statements, written mostly by security guards. The most serious allegation is that one of the protesters used a vehicle as a weapon to hit a security guard. But it's also clear from the statement that the driver slowed down as he approached and no one was hurt. However, not one of these anonymous witnesses was ever questioned in court, and none of the people accused of harassment was able to tell their side. They didn't even know the hearing was happening. Your name at the top? Yep.
Yes, that's
Reverend
right.
Malcolm Carroll.
That's me, yep.
How come you got named there?
Simply because I issued press releases and in my name, and I use the first person plural. We are trying to save this nature reserve, and so they've taken that to mean that I lead this dangerous organisation.
But you must have been threatening people, or you wouldn't be named in the injunction.
Well, of course, absolutely not threatening people. All the folk I met here were peaceful protesters, local residents, other environmentalists.
Right, all of them. And there again, things might have remained for npower and the protesters. But following our interest, npower issued a statement saying accredited media could video their contractors and security guards. But npower make electricity, not law. We're advised their protocol has no legal basis. And precisely these tactics are now being used across Britain to limit peaceful protest and ban unwelcome media images. As for Radley Lakes, npower advise us that the wildlife is achieving what the protests could not. The discovery of nesting waterfowl at the site means its destruction will be delayed. Alex Thompson, Channel 4 News at Radley Lakes in Oxford.